All right, YouTube, this is 2 Cent back with my 2 cents on OCTOPATH TRAVELER. And, in the past we've talked about the limited reoccurring units that are be coming to this game and the collab units that are also limited. But what if you just don't want to mess with the limited nonsense? Well, here's what I think is the top 3 units that'll be coming that'll be non-limited, which means they'll be added to the standard pool eventually, that I think you should go for. Please hit that sub button down below and let's get into it. All right, first up is Cyrus here. I've been hearing so much about him and there's good reason why. Just taking a quick look here, he came out about 5 months after the launch in JP, but a lot of people are suspecting that we might get him sooner rather than later, just because they've been prioritizing the 8 original characters from OCTOPATH TRAVELER. So, bear that in mind that he could come much earlier than that, or it might still be 5 months down the road. Heck, nobody really knows. So just taking a look at his support skills here, we have Steady Foe, which just allows him to reveal 1 weakness at the start of a battle for all the foes. That's pretty nifty if you're looking for that. I think it's nice to have that as a passive rather than having to use a move like Analyze or something like that. And then you look here, he's got an increase to fire, ice, and thunder damage. Then you ask yourself, well, why 3 elements? Well, let's take a look at his skills. So if you see here, he's going to get access to a 3-hit to all foes for fire, ice, and lightning. Wow, that's going to cover so much. And as an AoE, this is just the reason that people are so excited about him, is to be able to have access to this. He's also going to get, it says 2 physical attacks on single foe, those are just 2 tome hits. So that's going to be, at least a step up from Sophia, who can only hit 1 at a time. So with a kit like this, definitely a unit that would be a great addition to anybody's team. All right, on to the next unit. This is Cecily. She came out about 11 months from launch. So just think we do have a long time. That's roughly like 10 months from now. But looking at her passives here, she's going to get an extra BP at the start of each of the battle phases for the first 2 turns. And then if you look at this here, 20% to Spear, Axe, and Tome. So you might be able to put 2 to 2 together here, but just in case, let's look at the skills. All right, she's going to get access to 3 times Spear AoE, 3 times Axe AoE, and 3 times Tome AoE. So that is, just really good coverage there, along with having, some light damage that's, 2 times hit on a single target. That can kind of help there. She can also provide BP to another ally, just in case you are wanting to like ramp them up or something like that, in case maybe she doesn't cover that weakness or anything. It's just kind of nice to have on the side there. So definitely another good unit, and you're starting to see a trend here about units that can really make coverages across multiple weapon types, because there's going to be a lot of fights that's going to require you to have the more of the weakness units on your team. And so this provides that coverage there, so you can kind of make that happen in some of these more drawn out fights or something like that. So let's take a look at the last unit. All right, the last one I want to highlight here is Ophelia, and she didn't come out until a year basically from launch. However, I do want to stress that they have told us that don't expect the order that JP got. So this unit could come out next week, or it could come out a year from now. I don't know. So take that with a grain of salt, as I'm just presenting these to you guys. So looking at the passives here, what's going to be really neat is she's going to have an auto revive on herself at the start of combat. So that's just going to be, kind of a free being able to get, knocked down and come back up. So that's really cool. And then the buff duration is going to get an extra turn from her. So that's, pretty neat when you're taking a look here. So looking at the skills, it's kind of really nice kind of coverage here. We got 3 times staff. We got a front row regen. We got a front row heal with a, defense and magic defense up for 2 turns. We got 4 times light, but it is random. But obviously, if you're only fighting 1 target, it doesn't really matter. We got a self magic and evade and counter, which would be really neat for magic attacks that you're trying to avoid. And then we even have a revive a KO'd ally. And then if you're just prepping for your ally to go down, you can actually cast this and it'll provide an auto revive for that ally. So definitely going to be a great healer that's going to be coming at that point. So, if maybe you don't take anything else from this video, it's just that these 3 units exist and they're, basically the top of the food chain for the things that they do. So you might, as you're spending your rubies or pulling for units between now and then, maybe you don't grab units that would also conflict with what you're picking up from these ones here. Or maybe just getting something that's maybe a 4-star and settling at the 4-star for a while until this unit comes out, rather than pulling for a 5-star here, unit now. So Like in Bravely Default, we're going to get, Agnes there. And so maybe you don't get Agnes and you wait for Ophelia. It's kind of up to you. But what I wanted to do is give you guys the option, kind of lay it out of what, is going to be coming at least some point in the next year, and let you decide from there. And that's been my 2 cents.